Hello everyone and welcome to another live stream. Woo! How have you been coping with my absence? Are you all still alive? Are you not, is your soul still alive after 1.5 weeks without Roller Coaster Tycoon? Seems impossible to me, but, who am I? I mean, I'm still alive. I've been lost without you. As it should be. I should be your shining beacon in the night to guide you towards mass murder. Hey Nisse, welcome. There's a gas pipe in Eindhoven which can go boom. Give it English please, by the way. Let me Google. Ooh. Well, that's interesting. Well, that's not my problem. I don't live there. Ah, let's have a drink. Yeah, nice. I do have a friend who lives close, but he does not live in Eindhoven, luckily. In fact, that's the very same friend I just went on holiday with. I'll tell you all about the holiday, and I'll show you pictures. Not today, because I haven't put them on my computer yet. But I'll show you pictures at some point. Probably on Sunday afternoon? Yeah, Sunday afternoon I'll stream. Maybe Saturday evening, I'm not sure yet. But I'm not available Sunday evening. Is it Slijn? No, he is Brabant, but I don't think he likes speed skating very much. Right. Let's get into the scenario, which is called Trickster Bay. Yes. It's made by Lurker, someone on the Discord server. And, well, it says the previous manager decided to leave some fun surprises for their replacement. And the goal is to repay the park loan and achieve a park value of nearly $500,000. Right. This is the park, which seems to be functioning somewhat. That looks rather nice. Very kind of Roller Coaster Tycoon 1-esque. But at the same time, a lot of this kind of building is only possible in RCT2. Especially these kind of elevated roofs. Also, Drowned Guest 69. Where is 69? We're not going to have 69 apparently. So, we can do anything but 69, Major Geeks. Well, not anything, but anything you see here. Thank you, I am Potato. Right. This is just the beginning of the park. We also have a very non-functional alpine coaster here. How about we reduce that minimum waiting time, eh? It'll probably still get stuck, but it'll be a little bit less stuck. We have a chairlift here that goes way too slow. There we go, that's a lot better. And ooh, we have a separate area of the park here, only accessible by chairlift. 696. Apparently, yeah, they're still in the park. Goodbye. Have fun dying. Wait, I want to get off reverb. Why are people thinking they want to get off reverb? Does it do 20 laps? No. Wait a minute. It's an Infinity coaster. This thing goes on forever. Because it's in reverse incline mode. I'll just show you what happens when we do restart it. Ah, gadzooks, I should have paused it in the meantime. Well, people will board anyway. Let's wait until it goes. There we go, it went backwards and now it will go forwards. Ooh, that was well timed. With a very, very low speed. Ooh, thank you for the 6 months, DHR Houtduif. Oh, and thank you for the 32 months earlier as well, Kangi. Thank you for all the continued support. Hey Max, welcome. So it says, Houtduif subscribed to tier 1 for 6 months in advance. I assume that means you just paid, you just subscribed for the first time, because I don't recognize your name. But you immediately paid for 6 months. Well, thank you very much. But yeah, this ride will go on forever. It's not my invention. But I did make a video about it. And we should probably change it to just a normal continuous circuit mode. Although, will it make it if we do that? No, what if we... Oh, we can't modify it. Now, can we? Alright, how about pass? How about a powered launch? Yeah, that ought to do it. Alright, powered launch it is. Free? Well, do we... Yeah, we only charge for these. Free? No, never. How old is it? Built this year. Okay, so we can charge 10 for it. Right. This thing that just broke down. Do we have any mechanics? We do. Where is this fella? Yeah, that's not particularly useful, is it? Okay, the other two are probably there. Okay, yeah, it's still mostly stuck, but that's also because there's there's no guests in this line. Let's also charge for this. Okay, stats. It's also very not old. How about 8? Wait, they're not. They're either not paying that or they're not. Why is everyone broke? How much do they spawn with? Okay, they do spawn with normal amount, 35 to 65. Subnautica is such an amazing game. Is it? I've seen people talk about it. And yeah, I've seen YouTube videos about it. Well, no, I've seen thumbnails of YouTube videos about it. I've never watched one. That seems like a good game. Okay, no minimum waiting time here either. That one should be free. This one, and let's do a buck. And then we have this roller coaster, Trail Riders. Just also built this year, got decent stats. Let's do 8. This thing is broken down. Where's the guy heading to that? Why is he there? How did that happen? Huh? Why are there 6 boats stacked here? I didn't know. How do you even do this? I mean, the solution is simple. Just, you know, double close, reopen, fair. But how do you do this? How did Lurker do this? I've never seen that happen. Well, I mean, if you put like a little bit of track at the end maybe, but not without a track. You could manually set location of the boats with Visual Studio breakpoints. What the hell is Visual Studio breakpoints? I'm not that advanced. Invisible track. Well, let's see if there's any invisible track there. Well. Yeah. There's one invisible track piece there. Well, it's not invisible, it's colored invisible. This is what it looks like. There we go. Well, let's see if it happens again. Now this thing is broken down. Let me guess, the wrong mechanic. Why does the wrong mechanic keep getting assigned? I mean, I guess it's not impossible that he was the closest. Let's start. I haven't built anything yet, so let's start by building a ride. Also, I'll check the maze. Who said that? DML fan. I'll check if the maze is actually completable. But first I need to wait for all these guests to leave the park. Because they want to leave after they discovered that they're broke as hell. And can't afford any of my rides. My beautiful, beautiful ride. Alright. And that is a connection, baby. And how about we connect this as well? There we go, a beautiful path through the woods. Now everyone will leave. Yeah, we have a terrible park rating at the moment. Because a lot of guests want to leave, but that'll be fixed soon. You know, once they actually leave. Alright, let's have a look at the maze. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's completely, yeah, there's a wall through the middle here. So, time to fix that. Yabba-dabba-doo. That was not the wall in the middle. Oh, I accidentally removed 3 scenery pieces there. What were they? I think they were like that. And that. I mean, I removed 3 of them, but I don't know what the other one was. Unfortunately. Anyway, we can reopen this. I love all these tricks. Spiral slide, anything odd about it? It seems fine. It's a default color scheme. I think all of these are default color schemes. Well, no, the merry-go-round isn't, unless that's one of the new ones. Right. Then we can start building our first ride. No funding? How dare you? Do we have stalls? No, we don't. Right, how about we build some? Yeah, now it's all coming together. Okay, I want to see my guests drink out of tentacles. Avatar: The Last Airbender, original series. I watched and loved. Anyone who votes I watched and hated is weird. I mean, unless you do it as a troll, of course. But if you genuinely hated it, you're weird. Yeah, we got one vote for that now. I assume that's a troll. If not, if that's not a troll and you genuinely hated it, explain yourself. Is there a connection here? I'm just looking for to see if any of these parts have like a tile miss. Yeah, there we go. There we go. This is not connected. That's better. Okay, anywhere else? It does seem that most of these tricks are one-trick ponies. Not done multiple times. And yeah, that seems to be the case. And now we can properly start building our first ride. What do we have available? Ooh, I like a junior coaster. Right, so this week, well, weekend, well, yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which is a little bit more than a weekend, we had the World All-Round and Sprint Championships, which were in Insel. And I went there. I left on Tuesday afternoon last week. Went to Eindhoven to a friend who lives near there. And then we departed on the morning of the next day, of the Wednesday, to take the train to Insel, which is very close to Austria. So it was quite a long train ride. We went from Eindhoven to Venlo, then from Venlo to Düsseldorf, Düsseldorf to München, which was nearly 5 hours in a high-speed ICE. Intercity something? I don't know what it stands for. It was very comfortable. We had first class. Was not that much more expensive than just second class. And then we went from from München to Traunstein. And then we took the bus from Traunstein to Insel. And then the evening of the next day, there was speed skating. And it was amazing. The ice in Insel was the fastest it's ever been. We had a new track record on in total 9 out of 10 different distances that were skated. And the only one that wasn't broken was set incredibly sharply. Nearly impossible to break a few years ago. And yeah, we saw a couple of really cool tournaments. First the sprints, so the short distances, 500 meters, 1000 meters on Thursday and Friday. So to give you, a bit of a comparison, a 500 meters takes for the men about 35 seconds, and for the women about 38, 39. Of course, depends a bit on how good the skater is. And then the 1000 meters for the men is, 108, 109. And for the women, it's about 6-7 seconds slower. So those are the sprint distances. And then the next day we had the all-round. Well, next 2 days on Saturday and Sunday. Which is a combination of 4 distances. Which is the 500 meters, the 5000 meters, which is, at 6 to 7 minutes. And then the next day, the 1500 meters, which is about 1 minute 40, 1 minute 50. And the 10,000 meters, which is about 13 minutes. So those are really long distances. Although the women did do a bit shorter distances. They do a 3,000 and a 5,000 instead of a 5,000 and a 10,000. And those are all combined into a classification. You get points for every distance, depending on how fast you are. And whoever is the fastest has the least points at the end wins. And it was all very exciting. Alright, we have a little junior coaster here. Why must the USA have daylight savings 3 weeks before Europe? I don't know. Just the way it is. So, hang on, I'll look... Okay, that's better. So it was... Can we do Google Maps? Yeah, there we go. So, why does... No, not location, please. Luckily we're zoomed out enough that you don't see it. Anyway, this is where it is. In a little village named Insel. And this is the Max Eiger Arena. And it's absolutely beautiful here. Look at the hills and the mountains. The Max Arceus Arena. Well, it's not that far off now with the name. Now, while we were there, obviously there were a bit less trees. Let's see if we can look on the inside. This is the inside of the ice skating oval. You can see 2 lanes and then a blue warm-up lane. Skaters are skating in the 2 lanes. You can see German skater and... I don't really know what that is. Either way... Wait, that can't be a German skater because they stopped using that kind of suit way before. Well, maybe not. Either way. This is the Max Eiger Arena. This is it with snow. We did not have snow. We just had a lot of trees without leaves. But no snow. The weather was really, really good. This is from above. Well, a tiny picture from above anyway. Can I look up what it looks like? Cause I have some videos on my phone, but of course, hang on, if I pull this one up and send it to a friend, maybe I can pull it up on WhatsApp. Let's see. Cause I recorded a little video. Yeah, this should work. Right. I'll pause this. No. There we go. And then... This is what it looked like. Yeah, they were the best seats possible, Kangi. The quality of my camera is better than this, by the way, but some compression happening on WhatsApp or whatever. And yeah, we had seats very much in the front. I saw you live on TV. Yeah, we've been on TV a few times. The arena is smaller than expected. This is quite a small arena. It's very much... Because it used to be an outdoor rink. And it's very much built to kind of still look like that. With all the glass and stuff. But yeah, in front of us, you could see all the skaters get prepared and interviews being held, and skaters getting on the ice, which happened right in front of us, and do their warm-ups and stuff. How long is one lap? Whoops, didn't mean to show you that. Oh well, nothing big on there. One lap is 400 meters. Which includes doing half an inner lane, half an outer lane. And you swap lanes every lap. Well, technically in the middle of a lap. And yeah, that's how that works. And I had a great time. But the best thing was not necessarily watching the competition, which was of course great fun. But the best thing was meeting skaters. Because I met so many speed skaters there and actually talked to them, took pictures with them. For example, I talked to Jordan Stoltz. And took a picture with him. After he had won the World Allround Championships. And yeah, he's just, a really down-to-earth, nice guy. I mean, we didn't talk very long. I did talk a bit longer, for example, with Laurent Dubreuil, who placed third in the sprint skating championships. Because he already knew me and the friend I was there with. Because he follows us on Twitter. And we DM'd a couple of times. And I talked to Alvard Lorentzen, one of the Norwegian speed skaters who retired, skated his last match there. And I took a picture with so many more. Took a picture with Zhong Yang Ning, who was the sprints champion. Mio Takagi, the female sprint champion. Did not get Joy Buijne, who was the female all-round champion. But we did get all the other three champions. We also... well, we got so many others. We got Laurent Dubreuil, Halvard Lorentzen, Niels van der Poel, who was there as well. He's retired, but 2 years ago he completely dominated the long distances. We got Annie Friesinger, who retired a very long time ago. But until 2010, she did very well on a lot of distances. World champion in 4 different distances over her career. Got Olympic gold medals, skated world records. I got Erin Jackson, Olympic champion of 2022, 500 meters. We got Patrick Roest, second in the all-rounds. He took so many pictures. The great thing is with the speed skaters, right? The sport of speed skating it's so much smaller and kind of more intimate than something like soccer, or I guess like tennis, or American football, or softball, or what's it called, baseball. Because what we were able to do is we just waited outside until one of the skaters came outside and just said, "Hey, name, congratulations on this," or well done, or "I liked the way you did this," and they'll just talk to you. And they just walk through the crowds. They just sit in the stands when they don't have to race themselves. How much more can we get? Okay, enough for a wooden coaster. Let's also advertise. We need the ads. Because the funny thing was, on the very first day, Jordan Stoltz, who had not raced yet, he was going to race in the all-round, even though he is the best sprinter in the world. He did not skate the World Sprint Championships, but he only skated the all-rounds. And we met someone who we knew from an online forum, and who was there as well. So we met her. And then we walked back to our seats, because the next distance was about to start. And then we randomly saw Jordan Stoltz sitting in the audience. You know, 6 times reigning world champion. 3 times last year, 3 times on the same distance this year. Currently the world's best speed skater. And he was just sitting there in the audience, you know, not really being disturbed. So naturally, we disturbed him. I don't really disturbed him, of course, but we talked to him for a bit. Asked him, you know, what he thought was possible for his races later. And that's just amazing, isn't it? And so many Olympic champions as well, just randomly sitting behind you. We got very lucky. You know why? Not only did we get great seats in the front, but also the 2 rows behind us were some kind of reserved seats for speed skaters. Because they were empty quite a bit of the time, but whenever someone was sitting there, it was a speed skater with some friends or something. So we met quite a few speed skaters just because they sat behind us on the place that was reserved for them. We had no idea about that, of course, when we booked our seats. But still an amazing coincidence. Did you eat a lot of currywurst while you were there? No. I did eat one, but not a lot. The one I had was very good. Another very nice thing is that, you know, the arena, it's very accessible. Because, for example, if you go to Tialf in Heerenveen, which is well, probably the most popular ice rink in the world, got like capacity of, I don't know, 12,000. And it's almost always sold out or nearly sold out whenever a national or international competition is held there. But if you go there, it's not very accessible, everything, right? It's very big. They're all very commercial, and you can't easily walk around the stadium. And you know, if you go in, you have to walk through a lot of hallways to get to your seat or your standing spot. And it's all not very convenient. But in Insel, that was not an issue at all, because you could easily walk around the entire stadium. No barriers or anything. And yeah, you know, that was all perfectly fine. And we could have arrived 5 minutes beforehand. And you know, from the time you arrive at the stadium, from the time you could be in your seat, could literally be 2 minutes. Just a ticket check. And that's it. So it's all very, very quick. And that's very, very nice. Feels all very casual. And combine that with the skaters, you know, world famous speed skaters, at least world famous in the speed skating community, that just sit randomly among the fans, makes it even better. So yeah, you get a lot of bang for your buck. 674 876 480. Nice. So, in the meantime, we don't have a lot of guests yet. We should be making money soon. Because we now have guests with money. Which is nice. Yeah, we're slowly starting to make money from ride tickets. Now, I don't think it's covering our expenses quite yet. I was in a speed skating stadium about half a year ago, though I didn't watch any speed skating. Where were you then, and what did you do? I am now going to make a merry-go-round that no one has ever made yet. And I don't mean I'm going to give it a weird name that no one's ever done, you know, by mashing a few characters. But how about we'll let it play music. We do it canvas tent style. Which will do dark orange. Well, pastel pink was not a color in the original. Dark orange and light pink. We'll color this one dark water. And yellow. We'll give it 16 rotations. A minimum waiting time of 9 seconds. A maximum waiting time of 72 seconds. And make it wait for 3/4 load. I'm willing to bet... Oh, hang on. Inspection time every 20 minutes. I'm willing to bet no one has made this merry-go-round ever. With a price of 90 cents. These colors, 20-minute inspection time, 16 rotations, wait for 3/4 load, 9-second minimum waiting time, 72 seconds maximum waiting time, so many different possibilities. What's our park value? Okay, so we're... I don't know, a third of the way there? Oh, more than a third. Actually. A third would be 150,000. I didn't ever do that, but that does not mean nobody has ever done that before. Of course, there's a chance someone has done this, right? But the color combination, especially on the tent entrance, is a bit unusual. Not that many people use a tent entrance in the first place. It's also a bit of an unusual color combination on the ride itself. 90 cents is an unusual admission price. 20 minutes is a very unusual inspection time. 10 and 30 are the most common. 16 is, I guess, an unusual number of rotations. Who uses 3/4 load ever? And 9 and 72 seconds are also unusual minimum and maximum waiting time. New video. How many merry-go-rounds are possible? It's not a bad idea. Of course you can do this with more rides. Because if we think about it, a lot of merry-go-rounds are possible. Is 16 even possible in Vanilla RST 1 or 2? Yeah, it goes from 4 to 25. But there should be way more roller coasters possible, right? Because if you build the track itself, then there are so many more possibilities. And that's difficult to calculate, right? Because it would not be too difficult to calculate the number of different merry-go-rounds. That, you know, because you got a bunch of easily definable parameters, I guess. And they're all independent, I think. Maybe except for minimum maximum waiting time, but they're all kind of independent, right? But for roller coasters, it's not independent. Because when you're at the support height limit, for example, you can't go up again. And, you know, a lot of other things that are not independent. You can't follow a downwards piece with a vertical loop. You need some transition pieces in between. Thank you for the 24 months or 2 years, Xag. But what if instead you tested the throughput on every possible merry-go-round and then check how often each bracket of throughput occurs and if it's a bell curve? Surely that's not too much effort for a video. Nothing is too much effort for a video. And that's not entirely true, but I think you know what I mean. You could, of course, you know, have it a bit simpler, right? We could do a simplified calculation. Oh, I think I need more handyman because I see some pukies. You like seafood? No. Okay, so let's have a simplified calculation. Let's use a car ride. Because that'll actually do just fine. So. Let's ignore hills. What we can do is we can go straight forward. So that's one possible piece. 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 5 possible pieces. And these are independent. Every one of these pieces can be followed up by every other piece. So if from here you want to build 2 different pieces, that means you have, hang on, you have 25 options. Because you have 5 for the first one, and then you have another 5 for the second one. Now, eventually, if you do something like this, you can't build this turn anymore. But let's ignore that. Let's assume that you got 0 clearance on and the ride cannot be in its own way. So that means that for every piece, we have 5 different options. And let's say we use 1,000 pieces, which in the grand scheme of things is not very much, because you can use, you know, you could use 10,000. But let's say we use 1,000 different pieces. That means that we have 5 to the power of 1,000 different options, which is roughly, I guess, 10 to the power 700 or so, which is a lot. So it's about a 1 with 700 zeros. If we just use 1,000 track pieces with very limited number of options. So the actual possibility, you know, 10,000 will be around 10 to the power 7,000. Hey, what happened here? I guess that's been stuck for a while. Ooh, my estimation of 700 zeros was very, very close. Oh, I'm happy with that. But of course, if you build an actual coaster, you got to deal with the ground support limit, it being in the way of itself, the park boundaries. Not all track pieces can follow each other, although that's not too difficult, because you can have just, for every track piece, like a selection of track pieces that can follow it. How do you all calculate that conversion? What do you mean, from 5 to the power 1000 to 10 to the power 700? What I did in my head was I just factor it out, right? Because if I know 5 to the power x is 10, then the number of zeros in 5 to the power 1000 is 1000 divided by x. Well, 5 cubed is 5 squared is 25. So it's less than 2. Square root of 5 is about 2 and a bit. So it's a bit less than the square, than 1.5. So I estimated, you know, I don't know, divided by like 1.4 or so. So you get, you know, about 700. Because 5 to the power 1.4 is about 10. That's what I did in my head. And I know, for example, one that I have to do more often is converting 2 to the power something to 10 to the power something. And I know that that's a factor of roughly 3.2. So if you have 2 to the power 32, that should be roughly 10 to the power 10, or 10 billion. I do love working with very big numbers, it's always fun. Okay, let's see if this coaster is doing well. We can definitely charge 10 for this one once it's done. Big numbers, I can only count to 4. Well, good luck functioning in daily life then. I assume that's a meme from somewhere, a quote. What's the goal? The goal is to get 450,000 park value. Ooh, how cool would it be if we were able to build an upside down photo section in between like an inline twist? Unfortunately, you can't. It's a song from Psycho Stick. Never heard of that. Oh, we're out of money. Luckily, we do have enough guests. And we are actually making money. One issue is that we do have a limit with how fast we can make money. Because we don't have a cash machine and the guests are quite poor. Spawning with only 35 to 65. Change the coaster type for one piece of track. That's boring. Also, can't do that with all of them, because we have to make money to pay back the loan. Don't you have the cash machine researched? Huh. Huh, we actually researched it. I thought for a second I might have missed it from the start, but no I didn't. We did not have it at the start. We researched it halfway and I didn't mention. I didn't realize. Which is a lot better than me having missed it. Because that will make me insecure about my own abilities in looking at stuff. Well, that'll make us a lot more money. Might take a while to kick into effect. Oh, already 17 customers. Well, a few were already broke then. 29 customers? Ooh, baby. Cash machines everywhere. Yeah, no longer broke guests. Ooh, it's starting to rain. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Nice. Me likey. Did you know that guests do not buy balloons when it rains? Okay, this is still wildly inefficient. We'll just go to 10 cars. That way they'll be yacht off the coaster a lot quicker as well. Okay, this thing needs a new color scheme. No, not purple. We already have a purple woody next to it. How about rich red? Yeah, it's a lot better. Hey Marcel, just wanted to say I started playing this game again recently and I finally beat my personal demon Crazy Castle thanks to your videos. It's probably pretty sad I couldn't beat the beginner scenario, but I'm grateful for your videos still. Well, it's not a beginner scenario. It's categorized as one, but it's miscategorized. Crazy Castle is definitely challenging. Or at least, you know, a final beginner scenario. Which it was in the Dutch version, but in the English version it's at the very top. But yeah, I'm happy for you that you finally managed to beat it. I do believe I was able to beat it a bit earlier, you know, quite a few years ago already, but it was very difficult, because it's not an easy scenario. There are more difficult ones, certainly. And I don't remember, but there's a good chance that as a kid I wasn't able to beat it either. By the way... Okay, I have a question for you guys. So, I know that at some point this admission price was not free. Then it was set to free. Then the scenario options were changed. It was not free. Then the scenario options were changed so that we can only charge for the rides and not for the admission. But it was not set to free. It was still, there was still a price there. How do I know that? I did not talk to Lurker, the creator of this scenario. So the question is, how can I possibly know that that happens? Does the income not show up if it was always free? No, that's not the thing. The guests who were broke but the rides were free. No, that doesn't prove it either. Was there someone in the park in the start who paid for entry? Nope. Well, maybe there was, but I didn't see it at least. Did you alter the scenario options? No. Guests complaining about the ride prices. That could have proved it, but that's not what I saw. New rides are free. Why is it always you? I sound disappointed, but yeah, that's true. That's very true. So, if I build a new ride, then you'll see it's free. And Nusse is absolutely right. Of course he is. Usually there's a default price, but if you already charge for the entrance, it's free. The default price is set to free. Which was not a thing in in RCT2 Vanilla. But in RCT1, where you could charge for both, sometimes, that was a thing. That was an actual mechanic. And after I made my RCT1 no path video and I mentioned that, OpenRCT2 implemented it as well, if you charge for both. Fun fact, the price manager, which I have disabled here, but the price manager also still reads the entry price as something. So if you enable it, it will only charge a fourth for all the rides of what you can charge. Because it thinks the guests are paying for the entry. So, by the way, I will not be live streaming on Sunday evening. I will either do the Saturday or the Sunday afternoon. I'm not sure yet. And there will be a live stream. The reason I won't be live streaming is I got invited to a dinner. By one of my... by one of the people who I studied astronomy with. And... she's going to Chile for a postdoc. Going to the telescopes nearly 3 kilometers up there. In the desert, in the Atacama Desert. Exactly which ones, I'm not sure. But, you know, somewhere in the Atacama Desert. And... The interesting thing is, I never thought I would be invited to that. I mean, I didn't even know she was going. Because I was never friends with her. Like, we knew each other. We were, you know, we liked each other, I guess, enough to, you know, occasionally work with each other. But we were never friends. And at some point, I dropped out. And after that, I've only seen her, like, once. Because she is friends with a couple of my friends that I got from studying astronomy. So every now and then I would hear about something that she did. I believe she studied in Leuven, in Belgium. But then I randomly got a text from her saying, "Hey, I want to have, you know, one final dinner with the people I studied astronomy with. Wanna come?" And, well, of course. Sounds like fun. I believe it's... So, we have a friend group of 8 people. Which we call the Kangaroo Group. Don't ask me why. I don't know. And I believe it's just her plus the Kangaroo Group. I don't know. There were a few more people who were there studying astronomy. Maybe she felt weird not inviting me, even if she did invite everyone else. Either way, I'm very happy to go. No, she's not going to the absolute biggest one. I did ask that. But she's going to somewhere around there. Optical or radio? Oh, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I guess we'll see when we at the dinner what she's going to do exactly. You know, I'm very happy to still have a big friend group from when I studied astronomy. Because when I dropped out, I kind of dropped out of everything. I didn't speak to them for, what, 2 years? Which is quite a long time. But eventually I got that all back on track. And I started, you know, I messaged them again, being like, hey, I'm still alive, basically. And they were like, hey, welcome back. And ever since then, we've been doing, you know, things as a group with the 8 of us every now and then, like once, twice a year. It, you know, especially now that we live in different areas of the country, it's difficult getting everyone together, of course. But, you know, a few others I see or speak to much more often. And it's very nice. It's quite a miracle that our friend group stayed together. Because I'm not the only one who at some point peaced out for a while, even, you know, unintentionally, but it still happened. Because there's another one who also, you know, at some point had, you know, dealings with personal issues at some point. Who was also kind of out of it for a while. But it all eventually got back together. I think I'm very lucky with that. I guess I'm also lucky to still have my 2 of my high school friends. Cause it was a bit, you know, after high school we of course went to uni, and I had 2 really good friends there. Oh, kind of 3, but one I never spoke to again after high school graduation, so I guess she wasn't that good of a friend anymore. But the other 2 I had been friends with since first class, so 6 years. And, well, one of them did the same study as me, so, you know, keeping contact with him was not difficult at all. We saw each other every day. The other guy decided to go to Wageningen. So, for a while, we didn't see each other and didn't speak either. Well, just because I guess we were just doing our own thing. And at that point, I was a bit unsure, you know, what the future of our kind of friend group was. But a few months later, you know, we got messaging again. I think like 1-2 months later, it's not that long. And ever since then, we've hung out like 2-3 times a year. And it's all really, really nice. So that was nearly 10 years ago. And he's now solid off to Denmark. The other guy's in Thailand for 2 months. So they're kind of far away. But we'll still see each other. And I believe at this point... You know, I'm 27 now, right? I graduated high school when I was 17. So it's nearly 10 years ago. I believe at this point, you know, we're still friends. I think we'll remain friends for pretty much the rest of our lives. Because at this point, you know, you can easily not speak to each other for a year, and then just get back to it and be like, hey, how have you been? That kind of stuff, right? I don't know if any of you have experiences with that. Friends you've not spoken to for a very long time and then suddenly be like, hey, how you been? Good evening from Rome. Ooh, you're in Rome. How is Rome there, Carrie? And also welcome to the stream. Kind of smelly. That's not what I expected. I did not expect Rome to be smelly. I did not necessarily expect it to not be smelly, but I did not expect that to be the first descriptor. There's a good amount of smog. I don't remember that from the time I was in Rome, but to be fair, that was 17 years ago. Times have changed, and I probably also don't have the best memory from him when I was 7. That's not 17 years ago, that's 20 years ago. Damn, time goes by fast. People smoke a lot. Yeah, that is kind of more of a kind of southern stereotype. Like France, Italy, Spain. And they smoke a lot. And now you make yourself feel old. Yeah. I do make myself feel old when I realize I have memories from over 20 years ago. You know what's the absolute weirdest thing? We talked about speed skating earlier, right? The current world champion all-round is Jordan Stoltz. He's 19 years old. He was born in 2004. It feels weird to me that someone born in 2004 is able to be like a world champion as such. Just wait until you have memories from over 30 years ago. Assuming I keep on to my very first memory, I don't forget that. And that will happen on exactly December 10th, 2030. So in a little under 6 years. Because my first memory was my 4th birthday. And I still remember the way the room was decorated. Greetings from Germany. Love your videos. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you. And I hope you have fun on your first stream. Oh god. Visierterstudiker. I hope I pronounced it German enough. I do wonder, what are y'all's first memories? Oldest memories? And how old were you? Because as I just said, mine was exactly on my 4th birthday. I thought I had to go into the washing machine. And that's a funny one out of context. But how old were you? Barbecue with the family as a toddler. That should be a good first memory. I remember dropping a plate with something on the ground, but I've never been able to figure out if I just dreamt it. And that's of course entirely possible for all our first memories. That we just dreamt it. Because I remember the way my 4th birthday was decorated. I guess maybe if we have some old pictures of it, we could verify it. But if we don't, my mom certainly won't remember how it was decorated 20 years ago. 23 years ago. So there's no way to verify it if we don't have pictures. And since that was in 2000, smartphones didn't exist yet. Digital cameras, well, they did exist, but I don't think we had one yet. There's a good chance that we don't have pictures of it. I didn't have to go into the washing machine, but in bath while the washing machine was running. Ah, and you confused that with, I need to go into the washing machine. That makes total sense, kid logic. I need to get washed. Washing machine. Hey! Realizing that I remember playing RCT2 shortly after it came out because my parents and I all loved the first one does make me feel a bit old. How old were you then? Because you don't have to be that old for that. Because you could be like 7. Which would make you born in like 1994 or 5. You were 8. Okay, so you know, 3 or 4. 1993 or 4. So that makes you about 30. It's not that old. Oh, we got the tittiest park in the country. Nice. Ooh, also the park with the best roller coasters. Let's advertise some more. No, not the Alpine coaster. Playing with my toys in the backyard while my dad had a yard sale when I was like 5. That also sounds like a good memory. My first memory wasn't good or bad. It was just... there's literally nothing other than a single image of the way the room was decorated. Name the wooden coaster because boobs. I assume that's because I said, you know, tittiest park, but this is kind of unrelated, so it's a very weird name, but I like it. I should save it, by the way. My first theme park game was Theme Park Roller Coaster on PS2. Mine was Roller Coaster Tycoon 1. Because by the time I was old enough to play it, it was already out. Because it came out while I was still 2, which is a bit too young. I did see video footage of older me, because my mom has a lot of footage and pictures still saved. So I saw footage of me in the 90s. As well as my brother, of course. Which was fun to see. Drink some water. Alright. Nice. Rayman. I played that too. I played Rayman 2, The Great Escape. Which I only managed to beat about like 5-6 years ago. Never beaten it before that. Splatoon 3. I've never played a Splatoon game. All I know that it's a game where you splash each other with your special liquid. I don't know more than that. Okay, do we charge too much for anything? That one's free. That one should be free. This one should not be free. That one is stuck. Okay. Let's increase the chain speed and hope it doesn't happen again. The others are all free, which is fine. I could never get past the music note levels. Which Rayman game? Because I don't think Rayman 2 had music note levels. Rayman 3 did, right? I never played Rayman 3 much, but my brother had one of the highest scores back in the day. I remember him doing, being a score and being online somewhere. It was one of the highest on that kind of community. Oh, Rayman 1. I did see Rayman 1. I think my brother played it, but that was after we'd already played Rayman 2. But I don't remember much of it. I'm really glad I did not have to be outside my city today. Do you live in Eindhoven, perhaps? Mayhaps, yes. Yeah, I don't know what's actually going on with the gas pipe, but I did hear there was a thing with the gas pipe. Look at that, we're making 10k from rides for the very first time this month. You can replace the music in this game with custom music for some reason. Yes, you can. I don't think I have a custom music at the moment, but you can. I think my very first video game, this that I remember, is called Hobie in the Dierentuin. Translated, Hobie in the Zoo. Which was kind of an educational video game. Where you were some guy in a zoo. Obviously. And you get the little quizzes about like animals, learn about how animals, behave, how big they are, and all that kind of stuff. Anyone ever played that? Anyone ever heard of that? Let me Google it for you. This is what it looked like. Oh, here you have to take pictures of the apes. This all looks, you know, very 90s. You could, you know, learn about animals and all that kind of stuff. And it was made in collaboration with the Noorderdierenpark, which was actually my local zoo, which I went to every now and then. Here you can see the habitat of the Asian elephant. Yeah, in red, that kind of stuff. The Dutch really had the market cornered on edu games. Yeah, I played quite a few. I played Red Cat, obviously. Well, I really only played Red Cat at my granddad's, weirdly enough. Anyone else here played Red Cat? We had a few games. The first we had was Red Cat, the European City Tour, or Europese Stedentocht in Dutch. And that was where you know, Red Cat, you're a red cat. Oh, more orange. And you're flying in your UFO. You're being attacked by Brutus and Max, which are a bulldog and a mouse. And your UFO kind of falls apart, and you're so high up in space that all the bits of your UFO end up in lots of different countries. And you have to visit all of them. And then it's kind of like platformer for every location is like a platformer level. But before you can actually go into the levels, you have to answer questions. For example, what's the capital of Ireland? Or, you know, in which city do you find the Big Ben? Those kind of questions. So that's also both just a fun video game, but also a bit of education. That was also one of my first video games. Okay. Are we going slowly enough that I can do that? Looks like it. Very nice. I had quite a few more Red Cat games. I did not play all of them, but I played a few. And of course Freddy Fish, also played that at my granddad's. Oh, and Mule Monteur, which in English is Gary Gadget. The original is Swedish, actually, where it's called Millemek. And that was a game where you built cars. Though in the first one anyway, which is the only one I played. You kind of built cars there, and it was not that much of an educational game, but, you know, I guess kind of a little bit. In the same way that Roller Coaster Tycoon is educational, because you learned about, you know, what kind of stuff you need for a car. It's not that realistic, but, you know, you need a tank. Bigger tank makes you go further. Different kind of wheels, you know, big wheels make you able to go through mud. You know, all that kind of stuff. Same way, you know, Roller Coaster Tycoon is educational because you learn a bit about roller coasters. You can, you know, you learn kind of budgeting. A little drowning, yeah, we haven't had one in a while. 69. Any guess with 69? Ah, good, because 69 has been long gone. Damn. We start high up. Do we have 6900? I don't think yet. No, not even close. Okay, then we go for 5269. Bye bye! This is not a park, it's a sandwich. I don't think that'll fit. Well, we'll see. That's how far we get. This is not a park, it's a sand... It's a sand... I don't know what a sand is, but it's a sand... We can charge 6 for this, definitely. Ooh, we got an award for being the safest park in the country. That's cool. We should be making more and more. Oh yeah, we went from 10,000, nearly 11, to over 13,000. Park value 357,000. It's all coming along nicely. We are missing a taco stall in this game. Well, I believe tacos are not very common in the UK. Maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I always see tacos as very much an American thing. I mean, kind of a Mexican thing, of course, but like kind of like, you know, a Mexican restaurant in America. I don't like tacos. In fact, I kind of dislike tacos. The reason I don't like tacos is not because of the taste. The taste is fine, of course, depends on what you put in them. That's all fine. Now, the reason I dislike tacos is because they are annoying to eat. I've had tacos once and never again. Oh, we can buy all this. Neat. Shit, that's expensive. The only time I've ever had tacos, they kept falling apart every time I bit into them, which was incredibly stupid and annoying, and I've never eaten them again. Go soft shell. Yeah, I've heard of that. But I also can't be bothered to, because I did not like them that much. Like, they tasted alright, but it was not like, oh my god, this is great. It was just like, alright, I hate the way that they fall apart and they taste alright, I guess. So, no reason to eat them again. So, I've never ordered them in any restaurant or anything. And I guess I've never been to someone who made them. Not because I protested if they suggested, just no one did. I don't believe they're that popular in the Netherlands anyway. Like, yeah, people will have them every now and then, but not everyone, and, you know, they're not that popular. As far as I know, anyway. It's like saying, I don't know, only eaten cheese once. Oh yeah, because cheese is, like tacos are as ubiquitous as cheese. I'll have tacos on average maybe 3 times a year. So you only have cheese 3 times a year as well. The bumper bows are stuck again. So they are. I think they held on for a long while. I have cheese every single day. I don't, but I have, you know, I don't know how often I have cheese, because there are a lot of things probably that I eat that have cheese in them that I don't realize. I don't think I've had cheese today. I don't know how many days of the week do I on average have cheese? I have no idea. But unless you have some kind of allergy, or you know, unless you're avoiding cheese for some reason, you probably eat cheese regularly just because it's in a lot of stuff. Like if you have a pizza, it most likely has cheese. And it's used in so many different recipes. Or, you know, just little bit of cheese as a snack. Or, I don't know, you could put it on bread. I do eat rice every day. There's only one thing. Okay, this is stuck again. Has this ever... This has had some guests. It can complete. What if I just make it wait for full load? Will that solve it? I do eat rice every day. Yeah, I think there's only one product I eat every day, with of course probably some exceptions, but there's only one product that I actually eat every day, and that's bread. And there might be an exception, but very rare. Because even when I'm, you know, in a foreign country, we'll always have bread or buy bread. There's no reason to not have bread, so I'll usually either have it as breakfast or lunch, or maybe dinner, but not very often. Although it might be, you know, in a restaurant, you might have a little bit of bread before dinner. There's a valid reason for me to not have bread. Let me guess, you're gluten intolerant. Or maybe even proper allergy, I don't know. There's probably a difference between those two. We buy a loaf of bread and stuff it in the freezer. I eat quickly enough that I don't need to stuff my bread in the freezer. I eat enough bread that it doesn't go stale. When did you last have Burger King, McDonald's, KFC? Nearly 2 days ago I nearly had McDonald's. Less than this month, yeah, I ordered Burger King not too long ago. I think like 3-4 weeks ago. I've never been in a KFC, and I've never had KFC. Not for any specific reason. It's not like I avoid KFC specifically. It's just never happened. And I don't have any specific reason to want KFC. You know, if someone be like, hey, you know, at this party we ordered KFC, I'll be like, alright, fine. You know, it's perfectly fine. But that's never happened. There are actually 3 types: wheat allergy, gluten intolerance, and celiac disease. Celiac is an autoimmune disease, and gluten is found in barley and rye as well as wheat. And which do you have? The middle one? Gluten intolerance? Which I think is a bit racist, but you know. You do you, I guess. Do they have any American sit-down family-style restaurants in the Netherlands? What about that is American? In fact, now let me ask a question. What do you mean? Like, what is a sit-down family-style restaurant? Like, isn't that just a restaurant? Like a Denny's. I don't know what a Denny's is. They serve microwaved meals, but do it fancy enough that people don't know how to microwave. Okay, do we have that in the Netherlands? I don't know. I mean, we have restaurants that serve mostly this kind of stuff, you know, burger, fries, that kind of stuff. But I don't know if we have like the microwave stuff. Can you find a hamburger in the Netherlands? Obviously. Hang on. Let's see if we get anything. Okay, this is not anything about restaurants. I was trying to Google in Dutch for restaurants with microwave food. That's what it translates to. But can't find anything. No, that does sound American to me, yeah. So I guess my question, what's American about that, is, well, yeah, it is actually American. I don't know if it's specifically American, but like, I've heard of that, but not in the Netherlands. I do hear, because the difference in the way that restaurants kind of work is that in America, perhaps Canada as well, you know, they don't like it if you sit in a restaurant for 3 hours. While here in the Netherlands, it's very normal to just, you know, have a dinner for an entire evening in a restaurant. But also, from what I've read and stuff, it seems to be that going out to eat in America is much more common than in the Netherlands. Because once a week, if you go out, I don't know, you know, what's considered frequently in America to go out of dinner? You know, what's considered normal, or rare, or frequently? Because we go out for dinner, you know, if you go out once a week for dinner, that's considered very frequently. Once a week. Oh, and they got stuck again. I'll just remove that if I'm allowed to. I am. Nice. Normal is probably once a week. Once a week is extremely frequent, that's just me. Well, then Zia, you're Dutch, right? While Carrie, who's American, says normal is once a week. Master Pizza, which is a great name, frequent is 4 or 5 times a week. You're probably American too, right? Oh, you are American, Lizzie. I thought you were Dutch. My bad. So it does differ a bit, of course, between people. But from this, it seems that Americans do eat out much more often. Well, Dutch people, I mean, we like eating out, don't get me wrong. And on vacation, I love eating out. But we don't do it that often. But when we do, it's kind of a bigger thing usually. Not always. Sometimes it's functional when you're traveling. But if you're not traveling and you're eating out, it's usually kind of a bigger thing. Not necessarily like a fancy occasion or anything, but usually take your time, go slowly, sit there for quite a while. And you don't necessarily have to keep buying stuff. Of course, if you just buy like one drink, you can't really sit there for 4 hours. But if you just, have a meal, in, a lot of the time, it's fine if you sit there for the entire evening. Depends a bit on the type of restaurant as well. Sometimes they do want to kind of have 2 shifts. But I do always, whenever I read on Reddit or on YouTube, I watch about, stuff about Americans, how often they go out to eat. It always surprises me, but it's just a kind of difference in culture. Because going out to eat in America is a much more casual thing. You get in and out quickly. Of course, not everything you read online is representative of a country. So it's a bit difficult to gauge, how it all exactly goes. But still, there's always some truth to it. I'm the anomaly. I'm an American, but I don't eat out a lot. Yeah, you are the anomaly. Is going to eat like ordering lunch in a public space, or is it planning to go out for the evening? It could be lunch. But often it's... I mean, lunch is usually a bit quicker, right? I mean, just grabbing lunch somewhere doesn't count. Like buying lunch somewhere and then eating it somewhere else doesn't count. But if I'm, for example, shopping with a friend or with my mom or something, we might do it around lunchtime, get lunch somewhere. But you still sit there for a while and just take your time. Dinner is usually a bit of a bigger thing. Unless you're just quickly grabbing like fast food or something. Yeah, that's kind of the thing I got. Bijanhi. In America, it's not really a relaxing experience to go out to eat anywhere. It's super rushed. Obviously, that doesn't go for everything. But in general, I got the feeling it's more rushed in America than in the Netherlands when going out to eat. Yeah, like Max said, lunch is 10 minutes to 1.5 hours, dinner is 1 hour to 5 hours. Yeah, that's roughly accurate, I'd say. Oops. I'll put it there then. I really want to go back to the Netherlands for a trip now. Well, you're always welcome. And we have started paying back our loan. I really want to visit the Netherlands. I've always loved the architecture there, and the air seems super clean as well. The air is rather clean here, even in the bigger cities. Of course, in different places it's cleaner than other places. I have the feeling 9 out of 10 restaurants in the US are big corporate chains with copy-paste menus, low food quality, giant parking lot outside, unpersonal booths to sit in. That's not... I mean, 9 out of 10 might be a bit exaggerated, but that is kind of the stereotype. Our air is clean. Well, it's cleaner here than in Eindhoven, for example. But, yeah, hang on. Let me... You know, for example, a diner. If I... Pictures of a diner. This is the very stereotypical American diner, right? That kind of stuff. Now I do wonder how common... let's see if I can find a good picture. Yeah, you know, like restaurants like this. How common are restaurants that look like this in America? Because presumably they're still everywhere, right? Or like that. Because this is, you know, when you go to a restaurant in the Netherlands, you imagine something like this. Although this one seems to be a bit high-end. Yeah, something like this, which is not in the Netherlands. Is that Hagia Sophia? You can find those. That sounds like you have to search. Alright, let's go restaurant New York, maps. I mean, yeah, you can find these, of course. They do seem to be plenty. Although this one seems to be very high-end. Also, how common is... Oh, shut up. How common is like this? Or this? Where you just eat outdoors on the street. Which we call a terrace. Or terrasje. This is even on a boat. I mean, in the Netherlands, this is extremely common. Like, not really in the winter, of course. But in the summer, that's literally everywhere. Not very common, but you have to remember that our summers are much hotter than yours. Depends on where you live, of course, in America. Okay, hang on, let me... Now, I won't be able to find the video, but... There was... That was like one absolutely hilarious thing. You know the YouTuber Jack's films? You know, a lot of great videos. He made at some point, he made an ad. Let's go to, I don't know, let's take Houston. I need to find like an image of it. He made an ad, and it was about a laptop. And some kind of Google Chrome laptop or Chromebook or whatever. I forget. Doesn't really matter. And one of the things was that it's great on the go. You know, good battery life, it's powerful. And he was basically like, you know, I can do my editing, because he's a YouTuber, anywhere. Right? Very fair. Then, the most hilarious thing ever happened. He showed a shot of him, and he said, I can even do it outdoors. Sitting at a nice restaurant. And then he showed a shot. Is this wide enough? No, not. Well, I mean, kind of. Of him sitting, yeah. Of him sitting at, like, outdoors of a restaurant. Like, on a corner like that. Next to, like, traffic going in 3 lanes every direction. And it's like, mate, that's not nice outside. That's next to a 6-lane road. With lots of traffic everywhere. But that's apparently what he thought as we, you know, sitting nice outside. He was doxxed. I believe he lives somewhere around this area. He's moved now, so... Let's see if I can find a good, you know, crossing that would... yeah, you know, something like that. And I don't know if he could not find a nicer spot. Or maybe it was kind of ironic. I mean, ironic is his kind of humor. Ooh, fire all the staff. That's interesting. You want to screw over my park, don't you? Oh, I also had to drink some water. 6 minutes ago. Please drown me for not liking Avatar. Yeah, I mean, I understand why you don't like Avatar, because there are lots of things people like I don't like. But I think it's a shame. Drowned slime. There you go. Ooh, you just got ran over by a boat. Ooh, we are so close to the park value we need. How did you know that last name? YouTube? Twitter? If it was genuinely secret, kind of, you know, and I saw it, I don't know, somewhere. If you never said it was your last name, no one would have known. I didn't say it. Two said they hated it, Max. I saw 2 votes for watched it and hated it. But I'm pretty sure they were trolls. Because that happened right after I said, if you vote for that, then you're weird. And I don't think you didn't hate it either, Slime, right? I think you just thought, meh. Only 4 that haven't seen it, it seems low. Well, it does help that, you know, we are kind of the community that are likely to have seen it. And we're nerds. I mean, you're often kind of the odd one out, Slime. In terms of things you've seen, things you like, things you dislike. So it does make sense that if anyone hasn't seen it, it's you. Okay, yeah, I'll just build it here and buy more land. That kind of reminds me of what happened at Smosh recently. Because they have a show called the Smoshcast, which is just a podcast with Smosh members. And it's hosted by two people named Amanda and Shane. And it's a bit different than you, Slime, but Amanda is incredibly offline. You aren't, but Amanda is. And so a lot of the time, she kind of doesn't know about things that kind of everyone knows about. And in the most recent Smoshcast, it turned out she had no idea who Harambe was. And her reaction was so pure. Because, you know, Shane was telling her what Harambe was. Even I know Harambe. Yeah, but you're not chronically offline. You're just, I guess, online in different spheres. Than most people here. And then she was like, oh my god, why did the gorilla get killed? Can I like join a protest? And they were like, well, you're 8 years late. It's a bit, Also, Shane didn't like explain it very well. Because he said Harambe was just curious, looking at the kid. But he wasn't, he was also dragging the kid around. So he was kind of, you know, skewing what happened a bit. But still, it's absolutely amazing how often Amanda doesn't know something. A few years ago, there was also something where it turned out she had no idea what these nuts jokes were, or Ligma. And they kept going in an episode of a show they did. They kept going like Ligma and Sarkon. Yeah, Ligma is... What's Ligma? Ligma balls. What's Sarkon? Sarkon these nuts. Does she know about mind goblins? Mind goblins? Mind goblin these nuts! You know, stuff like that. Living under a rock. Well... Maybe, but, you know, if you're just offline... If you just, you know, you don't go on Reddit, you don't go on Twitter... Like, I don't see very many these nuts jokes in, like, WhatsApp groups between my friends. So I can totally see how you miss that. Why would you be like that? I mean, some people that are offline wonder why people aren't. I can totally see why you wouldn't be online in those kind of spaces all the time. It's kind of interesting because, you know, she works for a YouTube channel. She's an actor, a cast member on a YouTube channel, on Smosh. Yet she is still chronically offline. You know, she kind of got into acting, you know, going improv theater groups. Doesn't mean she doesn't use the internet, of course. I mean, she presumably uses the internet plenty for all kinds of things, but being chronically offline means that you're not in, you know, that's kind of not really on social media spaces and stuff like that. If there's one thing I could change about my online behavior, it's I should be less on the Reddit. I'm on the Reddit way too much. I don't mind how much I'm on Twitter because it's not that much, and I only really follow speed skating folks and a few YouTubers. So it's incredibly rare that I see something, you know, toxic and aggravating on Twitter. So for me, Twitter is not a cesspool. It's a very normal, fun place where we talk about speed skating. But that's because I only follow the right people. And, you know, on YouTube as well. I don't watch drama channels. I mean, if there's some drama I'm interested in, I might watch, like, a video about it. Or 2 or 3. But I'm not subscribed to any drama channels. So, I don't see that much kind of toxicity. But on Reddit, I like subreddits like Change My View and Popular Opinion. And you'll see the most brain-dead, brain-rotting takes on there. And it's probably a bit too much. I probably argue on there about things a bit too much. Reddit is very much what you make of it on Monday morning. Because you can go to all kinds of awful websites. Or awful subreddits. And, you know, get sucked into kind of awful shit. Like incel subreddits. Other kinds of hate subs. That kind of stuff. But you can also just do cats. Scary. My feed is mostly, not mostly cats, but a lot of cats. I think I can hire staff again, right? Yes. My feed is a lot of cats and, you know, video games that I like. And if you do Reddit like that, it doesn't have to be toxic. It can just be fun. Let's see. I'm subscribed to so many cat subreddits. Well, I'm scrolling through my list of subreddits now that I'm subscribed to. Animals being derps. Animals being moms. Animals looking at food, which are not specifically cats, but, you know. Aw. 2 different ones, one with 2 W's, one with 3 W's. Baby elephant gifs. Or gifs. Blurry pictures of cats. Bodega cats. Bottle brush, which is about, like, really thick cattails. Catberg, cat burnouts, cat loaf, cats are assholes, cats are liquid, cats being banks, cats biting things, cats in pants, cats in sinks, cats named after food, cats on glass, cats playing chess, cats sitting down, cats standing up, cats with jobs, cats with signs, cat taps, cat yells at mics. Oh, well, that's the end of the cat stuff. There are some more still that don't start with cat. Cuddly kitties. Dogberg, which is same as catberg but with dogs. Which is kind of cats and dogs like taking people out. Egg cats, which is cats with eggs on them. Fruit bat cats. Hardcore awe, which is cute, deadly animals, like tigers, lions, that kind of stuff. Hitmanimals, which is just, you know, animals taking people out. Let's see. I made a meow steak. Cats looking like they made a mistake. Jigsaw puzzle cats, which is cats on jigsaw puzzles. For some reason, in the past few days, I've seen so many posts from that in my home feed. I don't know why. Kitten mittens, kitty cankles, lazy cats, liquid kitties. Some of these subs are pretty much inactive. Meow IRL. Mildly startled cats, minimal cat art. One orange brain cell, which is about orange cats. Oh, there should be more. Potted cats, puppy smiles, Perito. Sploot. Startled cats. Stolen dog beds. Stolen by cats. Stuff on cats. The cat dimension. The cat trap is working. We're near the end of the alphabet now. Tucked in kitties. And the last kind of animal one. What's wrong with your dog? That's a lot of cat subreddits. And yes, I am subscribed to r/RCT. I'm also a moderator there. For those of you who didn't know. I should check out watercolor cats. I love how incredibly specific these cat subreddits get. It's ridiculous and hilarious at the same time. Like, I don't know why there are so many jigsaw puzzle cat posts. How many people have cats make jigsaw puzzles and have the cats lie on them? Find the guest with the most cake. I want to see if they float. Well, all the guests are identical in this universe. So all the guests have the same magnificent buttocks. And yeah, they don't float very well. Instead of watching cat pictures, just get your own cat. I've posted pictures of our cat online. Cat distribution system. Alright. That's a long name. I'll subscribe to that. Is that just cats having stuff in their mouth and bringing it somewhere? That's for when you find a cat on the street or in the dumpster. Okay, so that's not really just for cat pictures, but more like actually doing good stuff. Instead of just gawking at cats. Or staring at pussies. Oh, there's also a subreddit, I believe, called Preteen Pussies, which is just about young cats. Risky click. Well, you know, Reddit would not allow the wrong variant of that, so... If you're on Reddit, it's not that... If you're on Reddit, it's not that risky. On other websites, might be riskier. I believe there's also one which is called like Grandmas with something inappropriate. I don't know. Which was just about grandma's baking cakes or something like that. I forgot what it was. But there's a good bunch of subreddits that are like that. Do you know the subreddit The Thunderborstel? No. Let me have a look. I'm not doing this on screen in case there's something inappropriate. It's not active. There's been one post in the past year. Yeah, I know that Anime Titties is about news. World news. It was great in its heyday. What was it about? It's also funny that the picture of the subreddit of marijuana enthusiasts is just about trees. That happened because actual marijuana enthusiasts, or weed smokers, took the trees subreddit, well, took the name trees and used it for marijuana. And the people who actually wanted to discuss trees were like, alright, we'll just take marijuana enthusiasts. Oh, the Thunderborstel was just toothbrushes on the train tracks. Why? And I believe there's like a very highly upvoted post on the subreddit trees, which is about weed, but about someone wanting to have a tree identified and not realizing it was the wrong subreddit. And it was like incredibly highly upvoted, and everyone was like still trying to help the guy out, which was very wholesome. While at the same time saying stuff like, hey, you realize, you know, wrong sub, mate. I think someone was wondering about the toothbrush on the rails at the Dutch train station and posted to the Netherlands and spun off from there. Of course it did. Lost Redditors. Yeah, that's it. I'm not subscribed to that, but you know, whenever someone posts a weird thing somewhere where it's not supposed to be, I sometimes see that mentioned. It's also funny when someone mentions that, well, it's not appropriate. That they think like they're in a different subreddit. Or something like that. They think it's posted in the wrong subreddit while it's actually posted in the right one. Oh yeah, Georgia, the country of Georgia, not the US state. Ooh, hang on, let's do a quick test. What happens if I Google for Georgia flag? Okay, the first one I get is from the country. Thank you. I like that. And this one is from the state. Ooh, now that's a controversial flag. Mix them up. There's probably a subreddit like Wrong Georgia or Georgia Not Georgia or whatever. That's for that. I quite like this flag, by the way. All these little crosses. The one with the three stripes. God, that's a tongue twister. It's the current one. Yeah, I know. I believe this is still kind of based on Confederate flag. I'm not entirely sure the history of all that stuff. I'm not very good with American history or Dutch history. I'm just not good with history at all. You know, we're talking about Reddit, right? I think the Reddit is absolutely, well, the best place in the world or on the internet, I guess, for niche hobbies. Like, I was a Roller Coaster Tycoon player, and I discovered the Roller Coaster Tycoon subreddit 2016, and it was perfect for me. You know, so many people to encourage what I did, give me feedback, and, you know, encourage me to do bigger and better stuff, learn more about the game, build longer coasters, get more excitement on rides, that kind of stuff. Absolutely lovely the way Reddit works for that. Now, Reddit can also be, as I mentioned earlier, a breeding ground for incels and those kind of people, which is not so nice. There's, for example, a subreddit that I see mentioned somewhere, you know, in all the subs every now and then, which is called Men and Females, which is about instances where people say men or gentlemen or something like that, and then in the same sentence refer to women as females. And you got lots of that kind of different stuff. There's an absolutely hilarious one called Bad Women's Anatomy. Well, I hope that doesn't happen anywhere in a woman. That one just got stuck. And in Bad Women's Anatomy, it's because stuff gets posted there about people, usually men, but not always men, who get stuff hilariously wrong about the way women's bodies work. You know, from the most basic things, you know, things you might have believed as a kid, like, I don't know, babies come out of the butt, you know, stuff like that, to just general wrong stuff, you know, about how, I don't know, like people will, you know, their periods will sync up or whatever, what have you. So the craziest stuff. Just wrong about everything. And I don't frequent it, but every now and then I'm reminded of that sub. And I'll take a look at like the top post of the past month or so. And it's always funny how wrong people are about that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, not how girls work, which is, you know, posts like girls like guys that are like that. You know, you have like, you know, something that's probably imposed. There's like some guy, you know, Andrew Tate bullshit that says like, girls are naturally submissive and need to be dominated by a man. Stuff like that, you know, it's posted in that subreddit. Which is, of course, bullshit. Now you said that I want to quote it. Yeah, that would have been a veto from me. Alright, let's have a drink. On Reddit, there's also, you know, if there's any famous or even slightly famous woman, there will be a subreddit about worshipping her. And some can stay respectful, just saying, ooh, she's beautiful, you know. Others can be not so respectful. I'll leave to your imagination what that is all about. Which is, of course, terrible. Name the circus Dogs Like Socks. What is that from? I imagine some do, some don't. Is that a reference, or did you just make that up? Oh, it's not a Psycho Stick song. I still have never heard any of their songs. Also, there are like weird subreddits like Taylor Swiftler, which I believe is like Taylor Swift with quotes of Hitler. I think I've also heard of Taylor Swift's armpits, which is exactly what it sounds like. There's also a subreddit, I believe, for edits of Hitler with like very long, sexy socks. So yeah, there's a lot of different stuff. Marcel giving all the secret desires away this stream. None of the those kind of weird subreddits like Taylor Swiftler I actually follow. They are just the ones that I've heard about or checked out when I've seen them mentioned somewhere. But yeah, I've seen a lot of different subreddits. It is a thing, right? Because my Reddit account is kind of known. Okay, drown any guest that written the hardline. My Reddit account is known. I'll get recognized on Reddit every now and then. So I do have to be careful what I say. And I don't just mean, you know, not use it for any, you know, not safe for work stuff. But I mean also just private stuff. Because, you know, sometimes I'll have like a relevant story for something about my life. And then I'll remember, well, actually, I don't really want that to be out there. And I'll not post that. That's why you have a second account. I don't really. I used to have a second account. I mean, I technically still... no, I don't have that one. I used to have a second account. Then I accidentally forgot to switch when I commented something in the Rollercoaster Tycoon subreddit. And... I was like, well... That's easily recognizable as being me. So I deleted the account. But yeah, sometimes I like to, you know, I would like to share more private, sensitive stuff about my life on Reddit. But only if it's anonymous. But sometimes I think, you know, it might help people or might, you know, be good to, you know, sway people's opinions on a topic which I think is important. But it's also stuff that I don't want online. At the same time, it's kind of beneficial to have, you know, my account being like publicly recognizable. Because, you know, people will recognize me and sometimes that's useful. Sometimes it's just fun. Sometimes it's also useful if I want to make a point about something and people will be like, oh, hey, that guy, you know, he knows what he's talking about. Did you like Jutta Leerdam's world record? What world record? She's never skated the world record. Jordan Stoltz skated the world record, which I liked very much. He skated the fastest all-round Samalog ever. Track record. Yeah, Leerdam did skate a track record, and I figured that's what you meant. And yes, I liked it. It was a very good track record. Fastest 1000 meter ever skated in Insel, and also fastest lap ever skated in Insel. Seen any good speed skating? Oh, so many good speed skatings. And I met so many skaters. I met 3 of the 4 world champions. And also took a picture with all 3 of them. It's funny, I got a picture with so many speed skaters, but very few Dutch ones. I will show the pictures, but not yet. Next stream. I gotta organize them still on my computer, and I also gotta black out my friend who doesn't want his face online. Because obviously in all the pictures, well, except 2, we're both together. I have one picture that he isn't in, and he has one that I am not in. Hey, Natty, welcome! And everyone else. Roles are reversed. Yeah, for once I'm streaming longer than Natty. How was your stream? Did you do Roller Coaster Tycoon? I don't know if Rintje was there. Rintje is currently the coach of the Netherlands. Like of specifically the kind of the team events. But there were no team events here, so I don't know if he was there. Hey, Farvey, welcome. And Allocate. Oh, so you did play RCT. Any specific scenario? Sounds like you had a good time. Such a good time. By the way, it's... like, I made a community post on YouTube, right? About, you know, unfortunately there will be no video. Because I'll be on holiday. And I got a few really weird reactions to that. Like, most people were just, you know, have fun and stuff like that. Or, you know, the sarcastic, like, ooh, how will I survive without a video? Stuff like that. But I got one video that was like, you don't have to apologize. We understand it if you take a vacation. And I was like, I wasn't apologizing. I was just saying, unfortunately, there will be no video. It wasn't like I'm sorry that I didn't say that. Like, just informing you is a basic duty, right? You expect a video, so if there's none, I should inform you. But there was an even weirder one, which was like, yeah, you know, take your break, you deserve it. You know, what with falling ill last year and all. And I was like, falling ill? Sure, I've missed a video because I was sick once, but it doesn't count as falling ill. Everyone's sick every now and then. That's not special for me. That sounds like I was out of it for a month. I'm not even sure if I did miss a video due to being sick. I missed streams due to being sick, but I don't know if I missed a video due to being sick last year. I guess, unfortunately, it's kind of an apology, but... you know, it was more unfortunately for you. Oh! Thank you for the 410th gifted subs line. I ended it a bit early because I was tired, but it was fun while it lasted. You did Rising Star Park. Do you recommend it? And if so, where can I find it? Didn't they mix you up with Dirklink? Alright, Dirklink... that was 2022. Because he spent his Christmas in a Romanian hospital. So that's the year before that. Maybe? It's a long time ago, though. Alright, see you, Allocate. I just noticed this is a custom scenario. Yes, it is, and it's a fun one. That was 2022. Well, it definitely wasn't just a few months ago, so... Must be the year before that. And I do remember it was Christmas. All Dutch YouTubers look alike. I don't know what Dirklink looks like. I know what I look like, and there's a good chance, a very good chance, he doesn't look like me. We don't even sound alike. We have very different voices. I don't know how people confuse us. Like, we're both technical Roller Coaster Tycoon players, but we do very different stuff. I guess we both make guides sometimes, but other than that, we do very different stuff. We don't sound alike. And I don't understand it. It's an okay scenario. It's basically build 10 coasters in an abandoned park. I'm not that much of a fan of those, so might not do it. Is it just me? Or does it look like at, you know, the separation where these two track pieces are separated, it looks like it becomes less steep? It doesn't. They're the same track piece, but it kind of looks to me like this darker bit is much steeper than the lighter bit. Of course, it is most likely caused by that change in lighting. I think it's not the lighting. I think it's they don't entirely connect properly, because as you can see, the difference here between the bars, the crossbars, is bigger than within the track piece. That must be the thing. I'm more of a finish these 5 coasters and give them 8 excitement kind of gal. Oh, I hate those. That's the only goal type I don't like. Finish these 5 coasters. Because they are always in the most annoying places. Right, I think it's time to beat the park and end the stream. We have just enough park value and we have enough cash to pay back the loan. 3, 2, 1, beat. I was off by about a second. I love watching you beat it. Well, I love beating it in front of you, Slime. So, that was Trickster Park. I had a few good tricks. I quite liked playing it. It was a good park. And now I have not listened to the new Judas Priest album. I don't really follow them or listen to them at all. So, that is the park. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And let's see who I can rate. No one I follow is playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. We have one person who's playing Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic, but the thumbnail shows Pokemon. And the other person is actually playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. Whoa, God, that was loud. It's very zoomed in. I'm not going to rate this person. That looks terrible. Who else can I rate? I always like rating Leadybus. He's nice. Oh, Alright, Lavender. I haven't rated her in a long time. She's doing Phasmophobia. Lavender Rose Gaming. If I remember correctly, she was very nice. Right. Thank you for watching. I'll show you pictures of the speed skaters and stuff later. And I'll send you to Lavender. Have fun at her stream. And the rest of your evening, afternoon, or whatever. Goodbye. Sleep tight. Meow. Whoa, that went wrong with the voice. Meow. That's better. Bye-bye.